Yeah, let's get this show started, man. All right, guys, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elevated TV Radio. My name is Idafe Matthew. As you're gonna, you love to come with the Elevated One Sport. It's a morning that promises to be filled with a lot of guests, but for now, I'm all alone in the studio, and hopefully, the rest of the team will show up and we'll have a good day. And I'm in the mood to give out VIP passes to the special training and for football agents. So if you're one of that person who've been wanting to understand what football agency is about, what the culture, what you do, the etiquette of the industry, how to wear the goggle of an agent, so let me tell you one thing about football from my own experience. And I've seen people look at football from different sides. Like when players watch the game, what they see is different from when a coach watches the game, what he sees or what she sees. And when fans watch the game, and fans are the most horrible ones, and so unfortunately, I've got to say, I know you guys would be angry with me, but it's the truth. You guys don't know nothing. You guys don't know jack about football. Talk upside down most of the time. But hey, the energy of the fans is also very, very needed. That's something you have that the fans, the players, and the coaches don't have. So it's a balance, okay? It's a balance. It's bread and butter. Bread can go on its own, but put some butter on the bread. Oh my God. You understand? Put it on the toast, put some sardine, grind it like mashed up sardines, and put it inside. And when you bring it out, put some lettuce up and slice some tomato on it. Jesus Christ. I was still talking football. They all go together. And then there's also a difference from when an agent watch a player, stands on the sideline, watch a player, and goes folding his hand, putting his hand like this, or putting their hands akimbo and going nodding their head like this. You know that he's calculating the exchange rate already, he's calculating the cost of turning that player into the superstar player of the future. So let me give you a good example. Like when people like Atta watched audio a couple of years ago, when we were like, hey, this is my way, just having play ball. He play ball, but he was saying the whole gamut, the whole 9 yards, as the Americans would say. And he was already seeing what's going to come, what's going to happen, how this boy is going to turn into a star. And the same way when other people see footballers and they see something different, you see something different. Maybe a Jorge Mendes, for instance, sees the footballer, and the first thing he's thinking is, I'm not only seeing the goals that this person will score, the blocks that he'll make, the passes he'll make, but I'm saying, okay, merchandising, the sales, the numbers on social media, the push, the branding, and everything. That's the different thing. But there are people around, Kingsley Dele and his team are there, and they are willing, really willing. I'm feeling the temptation of adding Kingsley Dele on this live video feed, and then see if we can keep talking until they get to the studio. Let me see if I can do that. If my system will allow me to do that, I don't know, but it's gonna be difficult, chat, but we will try. Let's see. Kingsley Daly, are you there? If you're there, request to join. I know you're watching, but request to join so that I can put you on the field and we'll start the talking already and see how it goes. Okay, so better than what I'm saying is these opportunities are there for some people. Some people have to pay dearly for it. And let me also tell you, because I've seen some people write me messages and say, but the thing is expensive. Listen, to be a football agent, to just go and become an intermediary, you will spend close to a million or over a million just to pass the exam, and that doesn't make you an intermediary, because that's just like the certification. That's just like, okay, I don't get certificate. You all know that once you go to university and get a degree and come out, it doesn't necessarily mean you work in Shell, NPC, Chevron, or any of the big companies. You still have to trek your shoe bench, you still have to write a lot of CVs, you still have to, do a whole lot of things that is needed to be done for you to get there. So it's one of those things that happen. But then when you have the opportunity to learn it, even if you say pay 100,000, I think it's a knowledge you need to have. One, you never can tell when your child that you're going to have in the future, or the one you already have, is going to be a football player or a sports person. Those information can guide you in how to help build your brand, and also help you to negotiate properly on what to do when you have to like put it in the hands of another agent. I don't know why I can't get Kingsley Jolly to join, but we would see if we can join the live video on Instagram while they are on their way to this place. For Benedict Iki is not here right now. He's stuck in traffic, serious traffic. But we push and see how we go. But let's focus on the stories that we've got in our hands and do it the way we normally love to do it. But before I go, let's do a pick and choose. So, if you are the manager of England, and today we're going to focus on England. If you're the manager of England, who are the strikers and midfielders? Let's just stay with the strikers so that we don't, bump the whole place, fill up, and we get tired of what we're typing. Who are the strikers that you will pick out of the lot? When a competition have not come, you almost think that every team have everything complete. They have all these players. Just the way Nigerians always think that Super Eagles have the great players is a coach that does not know how to coach. Until when it's time to select, you now realize that we have a bunch of average players, and then we have maybe just one class player or one very good player and all that. And then there is no balance anymore in the selection. And that's why we always go to tournaments and really do not stand out as an standing team in the tournament. Okay, they say Jelly Kisley is unable to join. All right, okay, I understand. I don't know why that is, but that's what I've just been told. So let me just keep my fingers crossed and hope that they will get here faster than I expect. They're already late anyway. They're already late. But I know Lagos. I know how Lagos works. Even though, let me not say this thing. Let me keep it aside. Let's just move on. So let's see how that goes. But then on the news segment, let's run through the headlines that we've got, and then I'll come back with the story. Rivers United signed Watanga forward in reportedly huge deal, and I hate this. I'm going to call Chris Green immediately after this show, and I'm going to have a showdown with him. Like, this is sick. And I hate this stuff of huge deal. What is the freaking amount of money that you spend? Let's know. Okay, we're not doing some child play in Nigerian football here. Let's be doing some serious things. How much did you pay? Right? I mean, this is ridiculous. What is huge deal? Huge? What is this? Something huge like Sabinos or am I overreacting? Federal government urged NFF not to go against court order with federal government. Something sports minister or put it Sunday diary. Federal government. Buhari don't even know whether we run football right now. So leave all this federal government up. Former Italy forward urges Ronaldo to retire. They need to beg Ronaldo to retire. Life not bad, not bad. My goal is to get Juventus back to where they deserve to be. Danilo, okay. As a defender, are you alone? There's one song by Bonnie Spear, Tribal War. Like, you are alone. I think I should play that song after my show anyway. Well, let's get the news out of it. NPFL Champions Rivers United have signed Watanga FC of Liberia forward Albert Korvah as an addition to the squad. Okay, I don't know what they saw the guys, but they must have seen something. Okay, they must have seen something. They played against them. They must have seen something, a glimmer of light, and that's what I said about agents, intermediaries, scouts, and the rest. There's something that they will see. You say, but they beat them now. They beat them. Why are they signing players? Yeah, they must have seen something that says this is an acorn seed, but it can turn out to be a very big oak tree that will produce furnitures and a lot of other things and grow our team. So that's why they've done that. But what I don't like is the fact that something huge, but no real amount of money mentioned. So that's sad. But then don't forget the question of the day. The question on the show is, if you're the English manager, who are going to be your front men that you will pick? Tomorrow we'll look at the midfield or the defenders, but let's start with the front men. If you're the English manager, who are your front men that you will pick? And people say, why English national team? Well, let's deal with the teams that are very popular, that you all know, that you guys watch the players every day, and then we'll get to the complicated ones. Then after England, maybe we'll go to Germany or maybe Brazil or Argentina and the rest of them. But get yourself ready. It's a World Cup season. It's 54 days to the FIFA World Cup, so we've got to do a whole lot of things centered around the World Cup. I know that the football is coming back again over the weekend, but before then, let's deal with this and then move on. Okay, so Rivers United faced Watanga FC of Liberia in the first preliminary round of the Total Energy Cup Champions League and edged them 3-1 on aggregate to progress. Okay, the club announced the player signing on their Twitter page with a video of his flair when he faced Rivers United. There's officially no disclosed fee from both sides on the players' signings, but some reports have it that it's a 3-year deal for the player in what is worth $50,000 and will likely earn 800,000 naira as monthly salary. That's a good one. But I will get to the bottom of it. Guys, I guarantee you that. Okay, according to the news, the federal government of Nigeria, the federal government on Wednesday in Abuja all stakeholders in the Nigerian football family to remain calm and abide by a September 15 order of the Federal High Court. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Alhaji Ismaila Abubakar, gave the advice yesterday in a statement issued in the office in Abuja. According to him, the ministry is not oblivious of the recent development concerning the elective Congress of the NFF, which ordinarily had been scheduled to take place on the 30th of September 2022. Why is the minister always involved in every election and whatever? Well, this is what the quote from the letter. The ministry is also aware of the court order made by Honorable Justice L.E. Eko of the Federal High Court on the 15th day of September 2022, whereby the court had directed all parties, including NFF and the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, to maintain status quo, okay, until pending the final order of the court. So, maintain status quo means that Amaju continue as NFF president. Who's losing? Who's losing in this case? I don't think Amaju is losing. Following from the above order of court, which had also been served on the office of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development as third defender in the case, under reference, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development would obey and abide by the court order and hereby advises all other defendants in the case, including the NFF, to abide by the order of court by not doing anything or taking any further steps, particularly as regard NFF election that would be or could be interpreted to amount to disobedience of lawful court order or contempt of court. Okay. Stakeholders in the Nigerian football family and therefore urged to remain calm and law-abiding in the ministry seeks a resolution. Okay, well, let's see. I don't know what they're saying, but let's see how it goes. It is left to see if the court order to stall the elective Congress scheduled for tomorrow is vacated before then. Okay, but even if they vacate, well, I don't have an opinion. Let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit. Former Italy forward Antonio Cassano. Okay, so when Cassano talks, a lot of people don't care anyway. But let's just hear him say what he wants to say. The football clown, well, it's a very, very talented player anyway. It's called for Cristiano Ronaldo to retire or risk becoming a regular substitute following his recent struggles. Ronaldo has struggled since the beginning of this season and has started only one league game for his club, Manchester United. For Portugal, at the international break, he was wasteful and it cost them a place in the UEFA Nations League semi-finals, having lost 1-0 to Spain on Tuesday evening. Oh, too bad. Quote from the Daily Mail, Cassano, in an interview with Cabin Deportiva, said, "At this point, Cristiano should do himself a favor and understand that if you don't reach a certain level, you should close the shop. He won everything. He was a phenomenal stop. You have to stop or you only run into the branch." Okay, that's, for me, it's a good advice. I think you should take a break from international, not a break, you should just retire from international football and just let it go. I know he's passionate. I know he wants to set some crazy records, but then records or no record, Cristiano Ronaldo, you're already a great player. There's nobody's going to argue that with you. But then let's add that to the conversation. Why will helping the England national team coach to pick his strike force for the World Cup? Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo should just retire? I mean retire, like completely retire from football, or still stay with club football but retire from international football? What is your position? So how you do it so that we understand the comment? You will put whatever you're commenting. You'll put hashtag Ronaldo. Then you get your comment. If the national team, just normal, give your national team, so we can differentiate what we're saying, because the time comes when we'll start reading it. Might be some new people will join in and they will not understand. So, do you think Ronaldo should retire or he should continue playing? That's the question. Finally, on the news segment, Juventus defender Danilo has said he remained confident in Juventus turning their season around, and his aim is to take them back to the top. You alone? Despite their struggles this season, Juventus this campaign have been underwhelming, picking up just 2 wins in 7 games from the Serie A this season. In Europe also, they have lost their first 2 group games in the UEFA Champions League. Speaking to journalists and their senior Marquez, after Brazil's 5-1 win over Tunisia, Danilo discussed Juventus. Juventus' current situation and his belief in the club's chances. Okay, quoting from the footballitalia.net, he said, "The squad is well. The team shows chemistry and it shows on the pitch. We don't know what will happen, but we are on the right path to do well. You have become a leader at the Juventus. My goal is to take Juventus back to where it deserves to be. We know there is a lot of that at the moment, but we are aware that we have a lot of quality to become a top team." I'm trying to read it like Danilo is speaking English, okay? Then we have to keep quiet and work from tomorrow onwards. Let's just hope that they get it right. I feel for them. Okay, so I'm not saying here that Juventus deserve, it's not their better to always be there, right? But I don't think that they deserve to be losing or dropping point, drawing games like they want to cook up a soup. I don't understand. That's too much as far as I'm concerned when it comes to them. So let's come back to the conversation that we were having. What do you think? Should Cristiano Ronaldo retire from national team or outright retirement from football completely, total retirement, no more in the game? And I also wonder, does Trent Alexander-Arnold actually deserve the kind of dragging that he gets? I mean, let's look at him from the last 4 or 5 seasons or 6 even. And I don't think that this young man deserves it. I wish Emmanuel Sebastian was here. I would have asked him because he knows these people. 2 Hillsborough survivors killed themselves after trauma was re-triggered by footage of Liverpool fans pressed against each other in a tunnel at Champions League final support group. Oh, really? So there is no way this will come out and it will not sound stupid. So let me just not say anything. The thing that I want to say in my mind, let me not say it. Because there's no way to come out. And this is the internet. To stay there and the interpretation will be different. You know how when somebody, have you ever, like somebody had done something to you, you're trying to hold the tears, you're trying to hold yourself, you're trying to man up, and then you now get home, and then your younger brother or your younger sister now said something to you that is very, very irrelevant, but the anger from the bullying or the oppression you've got outside, you start taking it out on your siblings, and it now looks like they even kill the Pope. Okay, so let me keep quiet. Let me not say this one so that I don't become a nuisance for the people. I don't create a problem where there is no problem. I don't know. Okay, so it's not just a place where George Clooney goes. Como has long been the beauty spot favored by Hollywood royalty. Now the club by the lake are making a splash in Serie B with help from football's own A-list. Okay, there's a special report on the Daily Mail on that. That's the club that Fabregas and the rest are part of. Terry Henry invested in it. Fabregas invested in it, and it's good. I would love to invest in a football club, but I don't think I would love to own the club. So I'll let somebody else own the club, but let them just send me 1% of the club. I think that's a good investment of a football club or a basketball franchise. Just 1%. Let me just have 1%, no problem. I'm just like to have on my CV, on my profile, my portfolio, that I'm a shareholder of this club, that club, this club, this club, that club, that club, that club. What do you think about it? I think it's something nice, and then invest in some other businesses like that. I'm going to talk about it. One business I've always thought of I should invest in if I have the money is all these big hotels. They don't seem to lose, because people will always go to hotel to go and do something, do 1 or 2s, okay? And it's like it's a good business. Like I've never heard a hotel run into debt. They're always making profit, right? And when you want to invest, you think of businesses that make profit. Barcelona executive Eduard Romeu claims it would be financially possible for the Catalan giant to resign Lionel Messi in 2023, leaving the door open for the Nou Camp legend to make a sensational return when his PSG contract expires. And I know the game you guys are playing. I know the game well you guys are playing. But I also love the game. You want Messi to retire at Barcelona. Well, America is also going to call. I don't know if you want to go there, but if he goes to America, I think you should look for all those Latino states like Texas, like places there. But then Hollywood will always come on. Messi is not a go-to-party kind of guy. It's not a make noise, make the splash kind of guy. So I don't know if it will happen. Well, Christian Eriksen dominated France by creating 8 chances as he thrived with freedom in a midfield three. having overcome a difficult start, could this remarkable Denmark return hint at a different role at Manchester United? Well, that's the question that I was thinking when I saw that headlines earlier this morning when I was reading through, and I said to myself, let me ask the people: if you're a Manchester United fan or you're watching Manchester United this season, you think that Erik ten Hag is using Christian Eriksen in the wrong position? You think he can get more advanced role and more freedom, more movement? But if you do that, what will you do with Bruno Fernandes? Where will you shaft him to? Where will you put him so that the team have a balance? Or he should just play where he's playing right now, especially with the team on the upward rise, and it doesn't look like there is anything wrong. Hurricane Iron could force relocation of Kansas City Chiefs Tampa Bay Buccaneer game to Minnesota, with the NFL choosing US Bank Stadium as an alternate site if necessary. That is crazy. Imagine for instance, God allowed us to have hurricane. That is why I always think that God knows the end before the beginning. God allowed hurricane to be part of our problem with our calamitous leaders, okay, and also gullible citizens. What do you think would have happened? And then with our manipulative religious leaders that will tell you that 5G is the cause of COVID. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to run anybody down, but I'm just saying. Okay, Harry Kane is set to miss out on Sunday's Manchester derby through injury, though the English defender has already been dropped for to the bench by new boss Eric Ten Hag, that's why keeping him on as captain. Like when I tell you that Harry Kane will miss, Harry Maguire will miss a game due to injury, you almost said to yourself, wait, well, was he going to play before? Was there ever a chance? Was there ever a chance that he was going to play that game? I mean, he's not played against some very, lesser team this season. You want him to go and play against Man City. Like, where's that coming from? Well, it's one of those things. It's just for the stories, and I just felt I should read it when I saw it. Premier League teams suffered the highest number of injuries in Europe, with the league also hit hardest financially due to player absentee as clubs call for fewer fixtures. Now, when you say fewer fixtures, why not reduce the fixtures of your league? You think that one national team will stop because you're the Premier League? Man, shut up. Nobody's going to give you that opportunity at all. Okay? Part of that relationship affected me throughout my life. There are things I needed to change. Alex Scott revealed why she chose to detail first love with teammate Kelly Smith in new memoir. Okay? If you can get your hand on it. The story is very, very interesting anyway. The book is interesting. Since a friend of mine have it, I don't have it yet, but I think I'll go and buy it. It's not quick enough. Thierry Henry frustrated by slow VAR decision that killed the joy of the game. As Arsenal and France legend says, football still has much to learn from other sports when it comes to video technology. We're at the beginning. I mean, football is at the beginning. Those people have made their mistake, they've mastered it, and they know how to get to it. All these people don't forget that the people that are running this VAR are not really tech people. They're just referees interpreting the rules. So they are going back and forth. They're not tech people. Eventually, future referees will not have tech training and all that. And I think that's what will be good about it. Because I was having this conversation with some friends over the last Sunday, right? And I was talking about decisions of video assistant referees and all that. And I tried to explain to them, listen, it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, these things are not going to change overnight, but it will definitely happen eventually, and the masters will come in. It's a watershed moment. England World Cup kick manufacturers Nike are under growing pressure to take a stand against Qatar's human rights record after Humer camouflaged Denmark's logo on their kits in protest. Now, this is what I don't get. The process of manufacturing football kits have to do with, to the best of my knowledge, have to do with, one, if you are the country and the club, the manufacturing company will meet. And when they meet, they discuss, they go on samples, they discuss to a very large extent before they make that decision. When that decision is made, it is fine, and then they're not going to produce. You are not saying because Humer did something, Nike should do the same. And there's nothing wrong in asking Nike to do it. But don't you think that it's a knee-jerk reaction where you are trying to copy because you think what somebody have done is nice? Nike is not the one that would make labor better in Qatar. People are just being over themselves on this matter. It's like when people do kneeling down as a fight against racism. It's stupid, as far as I'm concerned. You are against Qatar labor issue, but your poster boy, David Beckham, collected 150 million as the face of the World Cup. This is a World Cup that England bidded against Qatar. Just think about it for a minute. You guys are not angry that David Beckham took 150 million and it's not speaking against this condition. It's benefiting from whatever happened with those conditions. British contractors, British engineers, all worked in every of the stadium that was built in Qatar. Nobody is complaining about that. Now you want kit manufacturers to hide their logos, to do. Come on, why are people so hypocritical? Like, why are people so dumb in what they push, what agenda that suits their narrative? They push it and make it look like, oh, they are one activist, they are one. No, it doesn't work like that. You're not against your Englishman going to benefit from it. You're not against people, from your country building stadiums and making profit and bringing the profit back to England, paying tax to His Majesty's Crown. But you are against Nike, an American company, to come and fight for you in a fight that you refuse to fight, in a fight that you benefit from. I have a problem with that kind of mentality. Come on, I have a problem with that. It's just like when Americans and NATO are trying to force Africans to fight Ukraine, like not buy things from Ukraine. No, Europeans are buying gas from Ukraine to survive, but you say we should not buy things. I mean, buying gas from Russia to survive, but you say we should not buy things from. Go and fight your fight. We're not fighting with you. You destroyed us. Russia didn't colonize anybody in Africa. Russia didn't destroy anybody here. We don't have a problem with Russia. If you have a problem with Russia, fight alone. Don't drag us along. When you guys are sharing money, when you guys are making profit, when you guys are doing better things, you don't call us. You don't drag us along. You refuse to give us permanent voting seats in the UN. You refuse. You vetoed everything that favors us. Now you want us to fight for you? Go to hell. I don't care. Yes, this is social media. It's going to be there. They'll use it again. Like people will always say, if some of these things you talk, they will not give you visa. And so what? And you know when people say this thing, like, I came into this world and the expectation of my life is to get visa. I've been to 52 countries and back. Is that not enough for lifetime? Some people will live 200 years and not travel to 3 countries. I don't try my best, like, not traveling. So visa and no visa, let them go and sleep. I don't really care. Liverpool star Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Little Mix fiancé Per Edward Casimir's mansion is raided by burglars while they were at home with baby son. When these stories come out, they make it look like it's just one small thing that happened. If this burglary, this whole burglary thing that they always do in the UK, if it was happening, God forbid anyway, but let's just say hypothetically, Ojo Gallo's house was burgled when his mom and his family are there. People would say, that country, Zuna, even a whole national team player, a whole footballer, they go and rob it. But this happened every day in the UK, right? You people that keep saying why zoo, if this was happening in Nigeria, when I will call us zoo, you understand? And this is not today, that happen everywhere. Pocket picker will hold you to ransom, I'm just saying, okay? Let's not I didn't put my mouth in the conversation. Those people that always want to make Nigeria look bad. AC Milan and Inter's new £1 billion stadium would hold no more than 80. Jesus Christ, what's that? 65,000 fans in reduction on San Siro. Why? San Siro's capacity with club keen to avoid empty seats. Okay, but I guess maybe they would have a plan to increase the seats later on. Okay, but it's sad anyway when you look at the stadium and there is no seats. It's like doing it live and there are no views. I understand. So, but 65,000 for AC Milan. Well, AC Milan is no longer the AC Milan we used to know. But with time we'll see. Can Darwin Nunez end his first start with Lisandro Martinez? Stop. Sorry, will Lisandro Martinez stop Erling Haaland? I don't know. Has Son timed his form perfectly for the derby? The biggest question your team has to answer as the Premier League return. And that brings me to the English Premier League conversation for the weekend. I was going to leave it for tomorrow, but let's start it right now. Yes, it is the London derby. Arsenal playing against Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur denied Arsenal the chance to make the top 4 last season. One way you would say Tottenham Hotspur did, but actually it was Arsenal that denied themselves. 10 games to the end of the season, Arsenal lost 5. Of those 5, all they needed was just to win 1. Either they won against Crystal Palace, they won against Newcastle, Brighton and Hove, all of those 5. They had one additional one 6 games. Out of that, irrelevant would be the name of the loss to Spurs, but that didn't happen. And there's something about the London derby, the North London derby, that I don't understand. Both sides always win in their home. Both sides have not lost in their home in the last 29. But you go to this one, so they beat you 3-1. You go back to the other side, they beat you 3-0 or so. When would they do the double over each other? When would that happen? I don't know. Is it just strength at home or what? I don't get. But what are you guys expecting this weekend? Now let's go to all of the answers that you've been giving to the questions that we've raised. Okay, let's start with the selection. England national team selection. Creative Ejali say, good morning, sir. There's nothing good. I'm just telling you. The grill has helped us, Gary Southgate, to make a selection. I don't know if you guys agree or not. He said Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, Bukayo Saka, and Danny Ings. Good morning, bro. So you don't have a space for Ivan Toney in this squad. Okay, guys, tell me what you think. Is that a good one? So Vicky, aka Victor Malolu, says, I will pick Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Tammy Abraham, Phil Foden, and Rashford. It's getting interesting. Guys, what do you think about the squad for England? At Boss Baba 82, my guy. He said, good morning, bros. I greet you especially the type person. Okay, and amazing Christian. He said, good morning, bros. Ronaldo should retire after the World Cup from international football and then head to USA for club football. It doesn't look like that. He's a celeb and should go to celeb league. Damn. That's not fair. Okay, so Vicky came back and chime in on the Ronaldo conversation. He said Ronaldo, #Ronaldo, he should continue playing but must agree to play lesser time and games. He should not see himself as the center of every game. Mr. Ronaldo is used to being the center of game. You think it is easy to break away from that? Well, but I like your position on it. He can respond to say good job. Thumbs up, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate thumbs up to you too for joining in on the conversation. Let me go to YouTube now. My family people, my village people are there. Oh, all right. So there were 3 questions that I asked. Nobody's chiming in on the Arsenal sports game. What do you expect in that game? What do you think it's going to win? It's going to be played at the Emirates. It's not London derby. This game is always a game. For me as an Arsenal fan, I don't see this game as a big game. The team that I like to see Arsenal win, and we hardly win them, is Manchester United and Liverpool. I don't know, but hey, Johnny Gaffer, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't think that as I stand here, if Arsenal wins sports, I'll go over the board. I don't think so. They're just one team Arsenal want to be, okay? But I really, really like to see Arsenal beat Man United. One would be that no matter how Man United are bad, they are still superior to Arsenal. Arsenal fans will not agree, but this is my personal position, and I'm going to stand on it. Liverpool are still superior to Arsenal. So when we beat those teams, I feel good. Chelsea, yeah, they are superior to Arsenal because of the European titles that they've won. If Arsenal also beat them, I feel good. But Arsenal beating Spurs is like Arsenal beating West Ham, Fulham, Charlton Athletic, Middlesbrough, Birmingham City. So teams that Arsenal will beat, and I'm like, whoa, that's a good weekend. Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, done. Anything other than that, Arsenal should not be feeling like, oh, we just beat all those nonsense celebration in the dressing room. They shouldn't be having it. And that's my position on it anyway. But you guys can tell me what you think. It's not London derby this weekend. What do you think? What do you expect? How is it going to be? Okay. But I was saying that if you're the English national team manager, who are the strikers you're taking to the World Cup for Qatar 2022 November and December World Cup? That's a very, very strange one. Okay. The Europeans will say it's the Winter World Cup. We've never had a Winter World Cup. World Cup is always in the summer. But this is the Winter World Cup. So Winter Soldiers is coming. Let's see how you pick your strikers for Gareth Southgate. But then beyond that, if you go to advise Cristiano Ronaldo right now, what would you tell him? Retire from international football like Antonio Cassano advised. Retire from international football and still play league, or outrightly retire. You are not Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Your body type is not like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Is a freak of nature. You can't be like him. You've also won more things than he's won. But hey, retire completely and watch from the sideline, advise other people. So it's a turn to advise Cristiano Ronaldo. Then beyond that, talk to me. What do you think about the London Derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur this weekend? What's your expectation? Do you think it's going to win? What's going to happen? Okay, those are the questions on the table. Meanwhile, Johnny Gaffer is so consistent in donating to this. Is it not time we make him a board member? I think so. He just I don't have other ways to communicate with him. I could have a private conversation with him anyway. Oh, do you remember him and a hybrid 10, man? The hybrid 10 guy is on another level. And I miss him not being here. We disagree a lot, but you could tell that he loves the project and he believes in the project. That's something that I like. Disagreeing with people without making enemies out of them, without turning it into a sort, is the most mature way to have a conversation. And I appreciate him for that. Thank you very much. You too, Johnny Gaffer. I hope you're not hungry that I am always desiring that Arsenal beat Man United, but we unfortunately don't do it. The thing is, no matter how bad Manchester United are playing, if Arsenal plays them, they will find fun. That's the thing. And some young players from Man United always find a way to score goal, whether it's Jason Park, Lingard, that Mumu Rashford, Yamala, or when Ronnie back in the day, just some Fletcher, some people that cannot even play football. Once it's Arsenal, open and close. Well, Oduni Rebeleka said, good morning, bros. Can't wait for the weekend football derbies. What's your take on the London and Manchester derbies? The London derbies, okay, so if we go by history, and I don't think history work in football, because all the time I play football, in the history of this game, this one doesn't win, this one. I was like, okay, I'm not going to play the ball. Now, the same people they play before, now I'm playing. So I don't believe in history, but it does show up. So in the London derby, it's always been, win your home, I win my home. And worst case scenario, we draw. I'm hoping that Arsenal will win, and I'm basing my hope. I think somehow that Spurs are in a better form than Arsenal. There is still doubt in the way Arsenal play. There is still doubt in who will play and who will not play. But over this weekend, over this international break, Arsenal didn't lose players to the national team, apart from Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, who didn't play that long. Anyway, Thomas Partey also was subbed out. I don't know if he's injured now. I think the rest of the squad, especially the Brazilians, didn't have to do that long trip journey. They were there, they rested, and they didn't have to travel. The first two, Ben White wasn't picked, Magalhaes wasn't picked. Saliba went to France, and then Tierney was subbed out from the Scotland game. But I think there are more players that rested, more key players that rested, and they could just use that as an advantage, boost that thing. But on game day is always different. For Spurs, England did have a good time. That could tell on Harry Kane, and a few other players also, Dyer and the rest of them. But then they could also decide, okay, let's use this one to wipe off the pain or the frustration of not doing well with the national team. That could also be the difference. But I think that Arsenal really does have a chance of winning. What's it called? Spurs are strong is in the attack, the same way for Arsenal. The midfield, they could battle themselves out. Spurs is more gritty. Arsenal is more technical. If Thomas Partey plays for 90 minutes, I think Arsenal will win. But if he doesn't play for 90 minutes and they bring in, probably, let's say, if he's not available and you go and play Sibi Lokonga, Awilo Lokonga, as I like to call him, Arsenal might just not win that game. But it's going to be one on both ends of the game, like attack. It's attack versus defense in this game, because these two teams likes to attack. But then Antonio Conte does have a gritty way of bringing result. Vicky says Arsenal versus Spurs is a draw. I hope it doesn't end in a draw, but worst case scenario, I will take a draw in that one. And Rebeleka says on the Ronaldo side, I think he should just move away from Europe, probably the Saudi or China. China is a no-go area. There's no money in China anymore. It's a no-go area. Nobody's going to China anymore. It seems he will want to continue playing in the national side. Now, if he goes to Saudi Arabia, he will earn astronomical amount of money that is never. It's sure he will be eating and feasting with kids. But I don't think he would enjoy the football, right? China is a no-go. China can't pay him right now. US, he would have the lifestyle. They might not pay him as big as he would expect a Saudi club to pay him, but he would live the kind of life that he wants to live. He would drive his big cars. He would see his contemporaries. But if he goes to Saudi Arabia, he will be driving big cars with old men, people who don't even understand him, his way of thinking. Timothy Daimbo said on Ronaldo, my thoughts about him is that he should change his game. His game style, there was a way Rooney used to play when he couldn't make those runs anymore. He played deeply and made passes and still scored. No, the thing about Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't think for other people. He thinks for himself. Ronaldo believes that if I do very well for myself, the team will be good. So as much as I like that suggestion, Ronaldo is not the kind of guy. The coconut head that he have will not allow him to accept that suggestion. I'm sorry. Noah Turin, a very good friend, good guy. He said on Ronaldo is scared that his goal record will be overturned too soon. That's fair, but it won't get better as a striker. He has slowed down, and that's normal psychology. MLS might be an alternate. I agree with you on this one. I think that you just spoke my mind. Let me go to my guy. Thank you very much for the £4.49. Okay, that's how they call it, £4.49. Yeah. The Eagles no longer super. Jesse looks so much better in real life than when I initially saw the picture. It's the best international jersey. Back-to-back World Cup, Nigeria have won the World Cup jersey, the jersey of the World Cup. The Portuguese jersey look like some janitors that are working in some companies in all those fast food business. The England jersey looks like some dispatch riders that are some bike ride, like cycler. Cycling shirt doesn't really come across like a jersey that you look forward to. Like in 98, that red jersey, when they put that jersey, I don't think that they should have left Umbro anyway, but I understand that it's all about the money, it's all about the Benjamin. I don't think Nike is doing justice to some of these European teams. They just, have found a way, and that's what I give credit to Amadi for, because I remember at the beginning the discussion was, we don't want a jersey, we don't want a football jersey, we want a pop culture. That was the word. That was a conversation some years ago. Like, we don't want a jersey, like a football jersey. We want something that is a pop culture, something that speaks to the pop culture, the minds and soul of people. And that's what they've created. And Nike have, gone on to do better. Like I said, I prefer the green one to the white one, but I would eventually get both of them, and I'll wear them with pride on my shoe and going out, and I'll feel very good about it. But then the jersey is not even landed. Indonesia and Chinese people have done their bit. They're selling it everywhere now. It's 20K and all that. And you guys can go get it. And it's also good. Especially if Lagos is the national stadium, you can go get it there. Oduni Remilekon says, my England forward will be Kane, Saka, Sterling, Foden, and Tammy. Okay, Kane, Saka, Sterling, Foden, and Tammy. And then Timothy Dembo says, it's going to be a tough one, but Arsenal should need a slight win over Spurs. Arsenal are not ready to drop from the top of the log. If Arsenal wins that game, I'll be like super excited, not because of Spurs, but because they've managed to stay on top of the table for 8 consecutive match days. That'll be pretty interesting. But Spurs, it's not an easy opposition to play against. I don't think so. Additionally, for myself, Ronaldo should continue playing till he can't any longer. Let the coach decide his innovation to the national team. I would only say he should evolve his game to suit his strength now. Well, is Cristiano Ronaldo that kind of guy? Again, my problem with having Cristiano Ronaldo in any team is that if you don't play consecutively a couple of games, he is the kind of guy that will stand up on the bench and start distracting you. That will start shouting on the sideline. And those are not the things that are very good, because he did it one time at the Euro. I would say, oh, that's motivation. Oh, that's not motivation. My friend, shut up there. You're not the coach. I'm the coach of the team, and I've got to do my job. If you keep coming up and start shouting like that, imagine if all the players get up and start doing that motivation. I don't think it is right. But you see, in life, we've learned to condone some things because successful people are doing it. And when they do it, it doesn't mean anything. But in the real sense of it, to me, it's nonsense. Everybody needs to know their place and function in their place perfectly. That's where you avoid chaos and you have harmony. But let's see. Additional Former said, good morning, Elegote. From CTA does not deserve. Okay, Trent Arizona. Okay, it said it's supposed to be TA, right? It said does not deserve. The Dragon is really too young to have achieved all this, and the coach should play to his strength. Okay. Timothy Demo say, I need that jersey to go and buy your own. This is indirect begging. People they don't want to beg you, but they just want to prick your conscience and put you in a place where you start feeling guilty if you cannot get the jersey for them. Oh, on this one, I'm not going to feel guilty. There is no guilt trip here. I'm fine. If you want to, go and buy. Stamina Emmanuel say good morning, Legote, and the viewers. Hey, that guy is my teammate, was my teammate back in the day. Fantastic guy, full of energy, and always willing to give support. And Ajabota that decided I chose that I want to be Paco. That's one. All the way from South Africa. How you doing, bro? Love you guys, and plenty of my regards to Ajunus. Anytime you get across to him, love you to the bone, man. Wonderful guy, very, very wonderful guy. Always willing to put support, to give you push to get better. Well, I think somebody sent me a message on WhatsApp. I don't know. Okay. I can't. That's not for the show. That's for something else. Okay, so as we run towards the home stretch, I really thought Iwobi played well against Algeria from what I saw. Yes, he did. He did well. He's raised his game. He's treading the passes now. It's not becoming. I think he's making a trademark out of trading passes to his teammates in the middle of the attack, and that's a good one. And also spreading it wide and then walking hard all through the period. Now there's nobody who can just come out and criticize him. Even when we lose games, you say, it won't be tried. Kamibasi tried, this one tried, but then the rest were not pulling weight. Simon didn't do well, this one didn't do well. But you always say, if everybody was playing at the tempo of Alex Iwobi, then we would be up there with the opposition competing. But unfortunately, sometimes the team is not on the same wavelength, and I don't know how that happened anyway. I remember when me, Stamina, and the rest of them, when we played football, even the bench is emitting the same energy that the guys on the field are emitting. We are on the same frequency. We go to games, we know we're going to win. Like, we're just telling ourselves, how many goals are we going to score? We're going to score 5 or 7. But I don't know. This Super Eagles team, today it will be the turn of Alex Iwobi to be in top form. When his form begins to drop, but Simon will not pick up and be in one good form, and then somebody else, and that's really not good. You want to have like 80 or 75% of your team being on top performing form on a regular basis, giving you top performance, as in doing it for the badge, doing it for the country, doing it for the honor of nation, for whatever reason. And then you get glory. But when one man is in form today or two, and then the rest are just strolling on pedestrian pace, and then tomorrow another 2 pick up when these ones are tired, it just seems like it's a setup. They just set us up to make us like what our government is doing, even our football stars are doing it to us. But hey, let's hope that we get past that space in this whole football business and get better. Still waiting for Kingsley Dale and his team to be here. I knew they were not going to get here before then. So we're almost out of time. We're say about 12 minutes before the end of the show. And even if they come now, we don't have anything to talk. So it's just going to be like just sitting in the studio having a conversation. More probably I'll set up time for them and I'll do a recording and I'll put it out there for you to see. I don't know, but it's one of those things that Lagos traffic can, frustrate your plans and whatever. But it's okay. It's fine. We get this thing going. Emmanuel says, you are funny. Keep doing what you are doing. Yeah. But you think I'm lying? Well, Ajabota. Come on. This guy, Ajabota, they say want to be back with us. Okay, no problem. Come and join us. But it was fun anyway. I said it's got like tough skin, like a man who can stand up for himself and who can make things happen. Well, before I go, I'm going to raise this question that Benedict raised to me yesterday. Who do you guys think is going to be the whipping boys of the African teams that are representing Africa in this tournament? For me, I think it's going to be Ghana. But somebody sent me a DM, very long DM from Accra yesterday and said, I just hate Ghana. There's nothing about Ghana that impresses me. And I replied him with all, that's a summary of what he wrote, talked about different times when I've criticized Ghana, blah, blah, blah. And I said, guy, when you went to the 2010 World Cup, you have Asamoah Gyan leading your attack. You have Suleiman Ali Montari. You have John Pencil, whatever his name was. You have this guy, Stephen Appiah. You have men in that team, people who the opposition is afraid of. You only lost on penalty, and the game went into penalty because Gyan, the same Gyan that praised the Baby Jet, did not score the penalty after the hand of Suarez. But when you look at this team, who are you looking at? And Jordan Ayew have played almost 100 games with only 3 goals scored, right, for club and country. And you have a whole lot of other guys like that are not really pulling weight. even though Thomas Partey is top quality, you can't argue against that. He can't stay fit to save his life. So that also is something that comes into my judgmental algorithm. And then you look at players. Some people don't even know the Ghanaian players anymore because they are not as effective. They are not making waves, okay, like they used to be. And that's my reason. It's not about hatred or beef. I just don't think that Ghana, are going into the World Cup as a team that can. They would get worse than what Comoros. I think their World Cup might be worse than their Nations Cup. Okay, but let's keep our fingers crossed. They might end up surprising me, but I look forward to that surprise. I think that Ghana, again, Tunisia, I think Senegal would hold their own. They just might not win, but they just go down, get a whole lot of draws and come back. I think Cameroon too, unless, Cameroon, every time Cameroon has suffered in the World Cup, it's them pressing the self-destruct button. And that just might be another situation for them this time around. But Ghana, if Ghana can use that to get to say quarterfinals, then Africa should be thinking of winning the World Cup. But that team is just not good. There is nothing on that team. The defense is all over the place. The midfield is disjointed. They're not playing for themselves. They're not playing together as a cohesive unit. The attack is afraid. They are allergic to scoring goals. Where is it going to happen? Are they going to click all of a sudden in Qatar? I don't know. Maybe people are banking on the fact that Qatar is a very, very unusual World Cup. That period, the rest of Europe would have cold weather. And so when they go to Qatar, that will be hot. Even though it's meant to be their cold weather, it might just affect the European teams, and then Africans will take charge. But then you forget that there are South American teams that are also coming to the tournament as well. But let's see. What team do you think will be the whipping boys coming from Africa? Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about the European ones. Okay, this one is from Noel Torre. So I truly believe it will be Ghana. It's just a gut feeling, nothing to do with their fair triumph over Nigeria. I like that. Mine is also a gut feeling. I'm not angry that they defeated Nigeria. I think that Nigeria had that one coming, okay, from the firing of Ghana Trust. So I can't blame Ghana. I can't beef Ghana for that. And then DJ Lavoma said these Europeans and Whitewood should allow us rest and do the World Cup. Anytime a World Cup is hosted outside their territory, they will make the whole world feel unsafe. I agree with you. That's how they told us that Brazil, they will rob you on the street. They'll do this. Brazil is one of the nicest countries I've ever been to. I kept asking myself, why did I let media like CNN make me not to visit Brazil like all the while? Because I've always wanted to go to Brazil, but I keep hearing there's crime, there's disease, there's virus, there's this one, there's that one. And I'm like, no, I don't want to travel and get robbed or stabbed in far away Brazil, and then I will not be able to be brought back home. That's why I've not been to Brazil. But when I went to Brazil in 2014, I want to go there again, but it's going to be February. Anytime I decide to go, it's going to be February, and I'll have to go with my wife and my kids so that we'll go see the carnival. So I'm going to plan that one later. Right now, I have a company to build. I have a brand to raise to the very high ups, and a crew to mold into winners. Okay? So that I don't have that fund or that time right now. And Steven said Ghana and Tunisia. Yes, Tunisia is on that list. And Steven says Senegal will qualify second from their group. It's a soft group. I think I agree with. Hey, Steven, what's up? Where have you been? I've not noticed you. Maybe this is your first time. I don't know. But you seem to be sounding the way I would sound if I was watching it live, and I have to make comment. You just seem to be sounding like it's like me talking to myself. And this is for myself. I beg. Imagine what happened in Wembley Euro 2020 finals and Paris UEFA Champions League 2022 finals. If those incidents happen in the friendly match anywhere else, nobody will rest. And they tell you, my brother, we're all saying it now. Timothy Demo said, I think Senegal will qualify with Netherlands ahead of Qatar, and Ecuador. Eto will say them go reach final. Now Serbia, Switzerland, and Brazil group that do. See what you fish. You're not aware. Say this is not like insulting Eto. It's like in case Eto said that in not knowing the group that they're in. Brazil, Brazil has been tagged as one of the World Cup favorites. And then there's Serbia that Serbia they fight to the death. And then they now have Switzerland. Switzerland, Switzerland need to lose a tournament. They will go and draw all their games. The most difficult team to beat in the tournament is Switzerland. They don't play well, but you can't beat them. Okay, so in the voice of Victor Moses, speaking pidgin English on my show back in the day, we're going to go beat them. We'll go beat them for Qatar. We'll go see. Let's see what happens with Cameroon reaching the finals. Samuel Eto'o, you will answer questions after the World Cup shop. K.O.Dofia, same money boss. There is no hating on the Ghanaians team going to the World Cup. I saw that team against Brazil, and that Brazilians didn't even get to gear 1, and they defeated them 3-0. And then they went on to beat Tunisia 5-1. I was like, Africans, why are they embarrass us like this? I said, next is the Cameroonian side and the Tunisian side. I feel they are the weakest side coming from Africa. You couldn't have said it any better. But for me, my own order is Ghana the weakest, followed by Tunisia, and followed by Cameroon. But let's see how it happens, okay? We don't have more time to add on the show. Let me say a massive thank you to everybody here. Mario Natalia say, make on leave it to it's allowed to dream. And Timothy Demo say, Serbia is a European African side with the way they play. Mitrovic form said, and that you're in a fantasy league form. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the games for the weekend. I don't know. We'll just have the news segment, and then we would analyze the games for the weekend. So this is how it's going to be. You bring up any game that is on the weekend in any of the leagues, and we'll look at it together. We'll share ideas. Whether you want to bet on it or not, let's just share ideas. So I expect like a lot of messages, a lot of chatting back and forth, and then anything goes. Any other question that I want to take today, we'll take it. But this is where I draw the curtain on the show, and I say thank you very much to everyone. Why do I always close my eye when I say that thing? Thank you very much to everyone who's been on the show. It's a part of my emotion. I one day Samuel say Serbia is good. Mitrovic, Vlahovic, and Tadic, all the Vic, all the Ik. They are dangerous strikers. Thank you very much to everyone who's been part of the show from Instagram to YouTube. I had to debug my computer completely. It crashed yesterday, and so now the YouTube is working again. I just hope it continues like this. But God bless you all. Thank you. I always love it when you guys are with me on the show. That said, please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe to our channel. We really need to grow. We have people, sponsors, and company brands that are willing to work with us, but they've set us targets of 25,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, 100,000, 1 million, depending on the different sponsors that our proposals are on the table. The good thing is, at least they've listened to us, they've given us feedback. Some brands are ready to roll in, but they say, look, the numbers don't add up yet. Until then, we're just going to keep our fingers crossed and do it. So help us preach the gospel of this brand and help us get to that point, because, like I said before, I still look forward to the day where we as a company can help people set up business, can pay for people's scholarship, can help people grow, move from one home to the other. When I watch all this, fixing homes, type penalties, all of those things, I feel like, okay, this is what I want to do in this world. This is what God created me to do. But how do I do it? Help us to grow, and that just might happen. Not for the show, but for the reality that this is what is right. This is what we should do. Thank you very much, everybody, for being on the show today. I gotta go. As I'm going, like a tortoise. What's it called? Kingsley Ajali just stretched his head through the door. I don't know why they choose to come late. Even Benedict came late. That's why you didn't hear his voice on the show. We gotta work, but we also gotta be disciplined. Right? Thank you very much. My name once again is Daffy Manchester. You're gonna love to come in the Elegant Town Sports. God bless you and have yourself a wonderful day.
Absolutely. Mr. Daffy.
Your father left here. I don't tell you say you don't go reach there. That's how you say you don't pass Chevron. You never ever reach there.
All of us, all of us. I call Agali. Agali is Lord.